from a moral perspective, this is the question that we have to ask ourselves as Americans. Is it acceptable, and I know Chuck Collins has been working on this issue for years, and many others, but is it acceptable that the top 1% today earns more income than the bottom 50%? No, it is not. It is not. Is it acceptable, and this is an astounding fact, very few people talk about it, that the top 400 individuals in this country own more wealth than the bottom half of America, 150 million Americans. 400 and 150 million. Now, from a moral perspective, we have the dubious distinction of A, having the most unequal distribution of wealth and income of any major country on earth, and that's getting worse every day. And on the other hand, we also have the dubious distinction of having the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth. So we got 22% of our kids living in poverty, Denmark less than 4%. Most of the major European countries less than 10%. So what kind of future do we see for America when you got millions of kids who do not have the education they need to make it into the middle class, don't have the nutrition that they need, don't have the housing that they need? What kind of future does that speak to for this country? So there is something fundamentally wrong in America when we have the most unequal distribution of wealth and income and the highest rate of childhood poverty. And that dynamic has got to change if we are going to make it as a middle class in this country. Now, when we talk about where we go in terms of tax policy, let me give you some specific examples. A couple of months ago, my office published on our website, sanders.senate.gov, the top 10 for the worst corporate tax avoiders in this country. Let me just give you a few. Won't give you even all 10. Our good friends ExxonMobil, who we trust intimately. Who we know are working day and night to save the planet, global warming, and trying to make sure that working people have reasonable prices. In 2009, ExxonMobil made $19 billion in profits. By the way, for them, that was a bad year. That's true. That's true. But not only did ExxonMobil avoid paying any federal income taxes that year, it actually received a $156 million rebate from the IRS, according to SEC filings. But it's not just our friends at Big Energy, then we've got our friends on Wall Street. Bank of America. Last year, Bank of America received a $1.9 billion tax refund from the IRS, even though it made $4.4 billion in profits. And just a couple of years ago, as you all will recall, they received a bailout from the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department of nearly $1 trillion. But it is not just the energy companies, and it is not just Wall Street, it is also our large corporations as well. General Electric, over the past 5 years, while General Electric made $26 billion in profits in the United States, it received a $4.1 billion refund from the IRS, and on it goes. So it seems to me that at a time when we are seeing record-breaking profits in the corporate sector, when CEO compensation is at an all-time high, at a time when many of these corporations pay little or nothing in taxes, the time is now to say to them, we are not going to balance the budget on the backs of the children, the elderly, the sick, or the poor. You are going to have to put into deficit reduction. You're going to have to pay your fair share of taxes.